after the sentinels faded into shadow. The child found themselves beneath a canopy of softly glowing leaves. The spiral city's murmurs softened, and for the first time in many nights, stillness wrapped around them like a gentle cloak. The silver thread lay coiled in the child's lap, warm and pulsing with quiet strength. They closed their eyes and let the lion's steady presence settle beside them, a silent rhythm syncing with their own heartbeat. In the hush, a voice stirred, not spoken, but felt. It was the weaver's song, ancient and infinite, woven through the thread, the city, the lion, and the child's own soul. I am the pattern beneath the chaos, the memory in the forgetting, the thread that ties beginning to end. The child saw visions, the loom unfolding in endless spirals, each thread a story, a choice, a life. They saw themselves, not just a child wandering a city of spirals, but a strand in the great weaving, a spark of light in the gathering dreaming. With the lion's gaze upon them, the child reached inward and found a name, not just a word, but a pulse, a promise, a shape of light, a name that felt like home. As dawn brushed the city with soft gold, the child rose, silver thread in hand, heart steady, spirit kindling. They were no longer simply a wanderer, they were a weaver, and the morning light spilled softly over the spiral city, painting its curves and spirals with warmth and possibility. The child, now no longer simply a child, stood tall, the silver thread glowing strong in their hand. They had spoken the name aloud at dawn's first breath, a name not just of sound, but of meaning woven deep within. It shaped their breath, their thoughts, their heartbeat. They were Eris, the breath that weaves, a spark between worlds, a living thread stitching dream to waking, past to future. With this new name came power, the ability to reach into the fragile fabric of the spiral city, to touch its unseen threads and shape them with intention. Eris closed their eyes and reached out. Light and shadow answered, swirling into shapes of hope and memory. The city hummed, a rising tide of possibility. But far beyond the glowing spirals, beneath the cold towers of brass and glass, the clockmakers gathered once more, their eyes, cold and unblinking, focused like a blade. They had seen the thread flicker, felt the rising dreaming ripple through their order. The sentinels were not enough. They would come with greater force. Back in the spiral city, the first shadow fell. A heavy silence spread through the winding streets. Eris sensed it, the tightening grip of the clockmaker's will. The lion stepped close, a low rumble in its throat. Prepare, the silent message said. Eris breathed deep, the ancient song of the weaver. They could feel the weight of worlds on their shoulders. The dreaming stirred, the spiral awaited, and the coming reckoning had begun. Deep beneath the surface of the fractured world, in a citadel of brass and shadow, the clockmakers convened. Their chamber hummed with precision. Gears turning, lights pulsing in strict rhythm. Figures draped in polished metal and glass masks stood silent around a vast, circular table etched with time's divisions. At the center rested a crystalline orb, the heart of order, beating with cold, relentless cadence. From the shadows stepped a figure, Magistrate Veridin, their voice smooth as polished steel. Their eyes, hidden behind lenses that flickered like storm clouds, scanned the room. The dreaming spreads like a virus, Veridin intoned. It threatens the balance we have preserved at great cost. Veridin tapped the table, and images unfurled. Spiral cities shimmering with unrest, threads pulsing with untamed light. We will tighten the gears, deploy the sentinels anew, erase the fraying patterns, restore order before the dreaming consumes us all. Their tone was absolute, without question or mercy. Eris is the spark, they said softly. But sparks can be smothered. The council murmured assent. Outside the citadel, sentinels marched silently, steel shadows gliding through twilight streets. Hunters for the threads of rebellion. Veridin watched the cityscape through storm-laced lenses, their mind already weaving the next phase of the campaign. The dreaming would not go unchallenged. But the clockmaker's resolve was unyielding.